Here with us today, Queen. I mean, I'm so honored. Please tell me how to address you properly.
Eminence and Royal Highness of the New Jersey Highlands, the Latifian clan of... You sure you want to do all that? Just Queen.
Hey everyone, I'm Selena Hill, the Deputy Digital Editor at Black Enterprise. And today I have the honor of speaking with Queen Latifah, a Grammy, Emmy, and Golden Globe award-winning artist, actress, label president, and entrepreneur. She's also hip-hop royalty and a living icon who is still making waves in Hollywood. Did I get it right?
That was at least 10 things.
At least 10 accolades. We started off right. Queen, I actually want to start, before we get into your new initiative, which is huge, how did you react when everyone thought you passed, when Queen Elizabeth II passed? Folks were crying, you were trending. Did you see that?
This was one of those moments where I was like, keep your hands off the keys. Do not respond. Put your hands down, because it was some funny stuff out there. And I was cracking up. I saw it all. And then people started hitting me like, did you see this? And some of it was like really good. And some of it was really contentious. And that was a whole contentious situation. Here you had someone who sat on the throne in England for 70 years. And I'm like, damn, anybody who could keep a job for 70 years, But at the same time, obviously, we know there's lots of history there. There's lots of so much there that we can't even begin to unpack right now. So I was like, let me fall back out of that. And
don't even get involved.
I'm
let Twitter run with it. They'll figure it out.
Let y'all do what y'all do, and I'm gonna sit here and do what I do.
Right. But it also speaks to your impact in the culture. We hear Queen, we like Queen Latifah, that's the first thing we think of.
And which was, I think, who honestly, I would have never thought when I gave myself this name at 17 years old that it would one day even stand in those same places in that same way. And don't worry, everybody, I'm good. I'm here. I have no intentions of going anywhere. I got a couple more things to do. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna be around. God's got God's plan, but I'm gonna be around for quite some time.
Yes. And, the Queen is alive and well.
Yeah, that was
in the present.
It was wild.
So yes.
That one girl. That one girl was so funny. She was so funny. I'm sorry.
Which one?
The one that was like, Queen Latifah? What? That one? She named so many people. I was like, she was so in it. I was like, she's really good.
She was really good.
I need to see her in something. She stayed in character. So just the actor in me was like, oh, she is selling this. I think, girl, who the hell we talking about? It was just funny to me. It was just like, I said, again, let me just fall back.
It's so funny. But again, thank you so much. You're doing so much. That's why you're so top of mind. And one of the things that you're doing, Lenovo announced that you're the face and partner for this year's iteration of the Evolve Small Initiative. Queen, if you could tell us about this initiative and what it entails.
Well, first of all, they have called me the Queen of Small. And I would never have thought I would have called myself the Queen of Small. But when you get to call yourself the Queen of Small Business, then that's a big thing, And so I'm like, I would love to be the queen of that, because that means that, small businesses, which are the backbone of our community, are going to get some help. And that's what Evolve Small is about. Lenovo is reaching out with this initiative to support small businesses. And this particular initiative is focusing on women-owned businesses and minority-owned businesses. And so they are going to lend their financial support, their technological support, and me in mentorship. Here's a huge global brand company that makes, tech as well as PCs, and they're going to come in and help some small businesses out, and actually a lot of them. So people just, go to lenovo.com/evolve small. They'll be able to submit their videos. They can make a small video, 30 seconds to 2 minutes, maybe Shark Tank style, and pitch us on why their business should be the one to receive this sort of help. I wish a company like this was around to help when we first started Flavor Unit, years and years ago, because here we literally were in one room with no windows and not a lot of capital, but a big dream and huge goals, and we were able to accomplish those goals. But it was challenging, because we could have used more mentorship. We could have used more of an infusion of capital at that time. And if technology was like it is now, then things would have happened even quicker. But that was then. It was supposed to be for them. But now people have a great opportunity to really do some, to really move their businesses ahead. And that's what we want. Big businesses, again, small business is the backbone of our communities.
Yes.
You like when you can walk into a place and someone's name, and you know yours. And so we want to make sure that we continue to support that.
Absolutely. And like you said, the business owners, they're pitching Shark Tank style, and they have a chance to win $30,000, $10,000 in Lenovo technology upgrades, and a mentorship session with you, which you mentioned. Queen, after going through everything you went through, what advice would you share with a small business owner during your mentorship session?
Stay committed, stick with the dream, but stick with the goal, stick with the business, but also be open to, nobody knows you more than you know you. But if you can have an opportunity to have real people around you who are people you can trust, positive people who can give you the proper kind of constructive criticism, sort of pat you on your back when you're doing great, let you know when you're doing wrong. It gives you an idea of where you really are. So sometimes when I see people not do so well, is they have some inflated version of who they think, of who they think they are. And it's all hype, and it's not really, there's no substance. So you can't really pull off what you think you can do. Or, there's someone who has so much more experience than you, and rather than hear where they're coming from, glean some advice from them, some experience, some of their experience that can hopefully prevent you from having to go through some of the same things that they went through in a negative way. You think you know everything. So it's like there's a time to just kind of like listen, and then you make your decision, because again, it's your business. And then there are times when you're going to listen to people and all they have to say, and you're going to go, nope, I'm not doing any of that. Because you'll be able to tell when someone is just jaded, or someone's just cynical, and they think they know everything. But you have to communicate with people in order to understand that and really have a sense of who you really are. Because then you can be honest with yourself and say, hey, I need some help here. I could really use some help over here. I think I'm good there, but I'm not so strong here. And I find partnership. I've worked with a partner for over 30 years, and it's because we have these differences. I'm strong in certain areas. He's strong in certain areas. We're equal in other areas, but we can always help each other out by, sharing those things with each other or counterbalancing each other. So it's great when you can have, someone may be more charismatic. So maybe you want them out front, and they're not so good on the books, and maybe you are not so good on the books and shouldn't be in charge of them, or even collecting the money that someone may owe you. Maybe you should have someone else in charge of that so you can focus on strictly
Right.
being
Your
creative.
strengths.
And sometimes those things cross. And you still have to communicate and have each other's backs and understand. But when it comes to small businesses, you always tend to be cash strapped. You're always looking to be able to do more, because you can be so creative, but if you don't have the finances to really pull off the ideas that you'd like to, then you're always kind of
Right.
always just trying to
Always
push yourself up
struggling.
the hill. And
That
I
was,
can relate to that.
yeah, no, thank you. You just dropped so many gems. I mean, I don't know how much more a small business owner could get, but I can only imagine how substantive a mentor session would be with you. And before we let you go, we also have to give you congratulations on the Equalizer. Premiered its third season, October 2nd, was the most watched series premiere this season on any network, with over 7 million views. Plus, the show has already been picked up for season 4.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, Queen, what's the best part of starring in and executive producing the #1 scripted series on CBS? What's been the best part of this journey?
Whew, Lord. Honestly, I work with a great group of people. I work with a very diverse group of people. Um, I work with women executive producers, Black male executive producers and showrunners and writers. I mean, there's so many. So our set looks like New York. Our set looks like the melting pot that is America. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to be a part of making happen. Also, it's great to be able to entertain the people. It's the people, like people are really invested in the show, and they let us know, whether it's through the gram or Twitter. I mean, they have things to say. And we've all gone through so much the past couple of years that it's nice. And the country and even the world has just been so divided on so many things that it's just good to see a show where the person who should win wins, or the person who's gone through heck, through the worst things gets help. Someone helps the little guy, if you will. And we deal with some subjects that people may or may not want to touch, and we're not afraid to touch those subjects. We're going to be dealing with some really powerful subjects coming up as well. And that's what we get the opportunity to do through the show. So many people have been able to relate, because we're talking about things that are current, in our society, and trying to deal with them as honestly and as nuanced as possible, and not some stereotypical way or painting them with a broad brush, but really digging into them a little further, just so those who are watching may catch it, and say, hey, somebody thought about me when they wrote that,
Wow.
What about my experience when they wrote that? So that's all we wanted to do is bring this thing across, and we've been fortunate enough to succeed. The only thing I get in trouble for is football games running late. And then everybody in my family wanted to come fussing at me like I'm programming this thing. I have nothing to do with the fact that, they're running overtime in the game. It's a good game. What you want me to do?
Right.
So
It's not your fault.
it is not.
Yeah, but like you said, it's been so successful. It feels good. And we're wrapping here, but you've had so much success in your life and career. What brings you the most fulfillment at this stage in your life?
My family always brings me the most joy and success. That's my real success is family, family and friends, and just being blessed to get up every day and stay open and positive and try to learn something new. And that's really one of the main things, and being in a position to help others, to help others out. And so you know, I don't do this on my own. I thank God for it, and I hope I'm blessed to continue to be able to do that. But that's where it is. I just, you know, I'm having fun. And every once in a while, I get a break and I get to go do something wild on vacation, and that's always a good thing.
I know. I'm like, what's the wildest thing you've done on vacation?
These things you have to pay a lot of money to find
Nope.
out. I have
Thank
to
you.
charge you more than any tech company could ever afford. No, I'm just kidding. You know, simple stuff, jet skis, jumping off cliffs, you know, swimming, you know, fun stuff.
Stuff. Gotcha. I love it. Thank you so much, Miss Queen Latifah, not just for what you're doing today, but the legacy you have blazed and just the pathways, the doors you've opened for younger people like me, the Megan Stallions of the world, the
Right.
Cardis of the world. I mean, all black women, just leave it there.
Go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. And then let's come together and do it.
Let's do it together. I'm all for it. Doing it together. Thank you again, Queen.
Thank you.